Hi guys, it's Tracy in Australia and I have my latest video to share. It's actually for a private swap on a group called Junk Journal Junksters Down Under, which I belong to and love. And yeah, I'm just about to post this off, so I thought I'd do a quick flip through. First I want to show you what I'm going to use to decorate the package. And this is my first ever snippet roll and I had so much fun doing it. Great way to use up scraps, and definitely going to be doing some more of those. Okay, let's get into the journal. So I've had this cover in my head for a while, and it's inspired by a Polish lady. I'll leave her name in the description box because I'm very poor at pronouncing it. But what I did was repurpose a hardback novel. I've gessoed it, covered it with Tim Holtz tissue paper, gessoed again, gone around the edges with Inca Gold. I did do a little charm dangle that you can see here. It's repurposed necklace and I've added a few other bits to it. But the cover, I've started off with muslin and then I've layered lots of little dangly bits of lace, some chiffon, a bit of tulle with gold through it. Mixture of vintage laces. Actually, when I'm looking, they're all vintage laces. And then I have collaged some paper flowers that I've been collecting, all different kinds. Actually, there's a few plastic ones as well. Really gessoed everything, added some sparkle to it so it's very shabby, and then I've added in some buttons. So really enjoyed doing that. And as I said, I have wanted to do one for a long time. So closure is this gorgeous peachy sari silk, and up the top here you can see some sari silk and eyelash trim, silver eyelash trim that is on some of the large tags in the journal. So my swap partner loves fairies, so I've gone with that theme. It's a little part from a poem here. And I'll just mention some of the papers as I go through. This one's Kaisercraft, this one's Prima. A lot of my fussy cut pockets are from Calico Collage. That's a Kaisercraft butterfly. I've done my usual thing. There's paper doily here, two little tuck spots. This, I did make quite a few tags for this journal. This is out of a whole heap of manila folders that I found at the opportunity shop here, and I've been steadily using those in my journal. So that's a little commercial piece, and I've just added in a little bit of vintage lace and stapled that to the top. Some Tim Holtz vellum, and around the edges here and actually on all of the pages I've used Inca Gold, and you can see how that looks so pretty on the edge of the book. So I'm very happy with how that came out. I also did a little bit of light script stamping in gold. You can just faintly see it in the camera there, I think. Okay, so pocket. One of the other sets of papers that I've used in here are from this lady on Etsy who has a shop called Vintage Paperie, and they are gorgeous. I've got several of her sets now. This is from Graphics Fairy. Used quite a few little ephemera pieces from Graphics Fairy. Net lace pocket, another Graphics Fairy piece. A gold paper clip with some vintage lace on it. These two pieces are from Calico Collage. This is one of my favorite things to use. How cute is that? Fairy bingo card. And some fairy wishing dust. Always good to have. And that's just a little commercial piece. Everything's been very lightly tea dyed, and sometimes I have used Tim Holtz Distress Ink, the tea dye one, around the papers. This is another little quote from a poem. This one's actually from Shakespeare. Hand in hand with fairy grace will we sing and bless this place. Midsummer Night's Dream. This is from another lady that I found on Etsy recently, Romantica Arts, and I bought a set of her papers, and they had these gorgeous pockets, and I've used quite a few of those in this. This is some Kaisercraft vellum, really pretty. Another little quote. cut down a Prima piece of paper, backed it with some something from my scrap box, went around the edge with the Inca Gold. And here we are. This is the center of the first signature, and I've used that big edge die that I have and put a butterfly in the middle. This is another one of the vintage Paperie papers, and then the Romantica Arts pocket. Love the dragonfly. And I just made a little booklet out of some scraps to go in there. A little bit of vintage lace up the top. Little pocket, a tiny vellum, what do you call that? Glassine envelope with a little ticket in it. The other part of the Kaisercraft vellum. You can see the stamping. Large pocket, and I made this tag from one of the Calico Collage pages, and then just added a pin with some little pieces on it there. I like the way when you have the large tags and they stick out the top with the trim. Really like that. So yeah, lots of little tags and things for Shar to write on. She can swap it around, put in her own things. And another tag I've made just with some offcuts. And here I've added a little butterfly, and I don't know whether you can see, but it's kind of like blue and shiny. That's a little technique I picked up from Annalie, from Annalie's journaling. Watching one of her envelope craft alongs. This is actually foil, and she does that on quite a few of her envelopes, so I thought I'd give that a go. And it came out really well. So thanks, Annalie. And here's the last page, and what I've done is make a pocket out of a paper bag, added a little bit of lace and washi, little fussy cut the flowers and put a doily behind them to make another little tuck spot. And this was a tag I created from a Prima paper. So I've used the same Prima paper on the two signatures because I had it and I thought it was so pretty. Again, another tag that I've made. This is a French dictionary pieces, the leftover piece from Calico Collage, the little pocket I've made from Calico Collage offcut as well, and also these little fussy cut flowers decorated with a butterfly from Kaisercraft and some little vintage lace pieces. So that makes a really cute little tuck spot. You can still see the fairy. Love this little piece from Calico Collage, and I've fussy cut it out, backed it onto one of the pages from Vintage Paperie, and so made a little pocket. And then the little ATC, I've just sliced it where the ribbon goes across to make a little tuck spot for a tiny envelope. And I've actually used some copper colored foiling material on there to give it a little bit of glitter. A little bit of vintage lace and a little trinkety thing. So again, 4x6 card that I've made out of an offcut, and just decorated that with some lace and a little pin with a little trinket. Here I just popped them a commercial card onto some cardstock and grunged it up with some Tim Holtz tea dye distress ink. So I always love to have a vintage photo, and this one I've mounted with photo corners so that I could have this card behind it. It says, "Kindness comes in many forms, but always from the heart." And I've left one side open to have a little secret journaling spot. This is actually backed with paper so that you could write on it if you wanted, and I've just distressed the edges. So that's like a little secret journaling spot. So another lace pocket. This is a piece from Graphics Fairy. And this is actually from an Australian lady called Lavender Blue. She used to be Red Deer Printables, but she's changed her name. So this one was, this girl is fussy cut from one of the Calico Collage papers, as is the big rose. And I've glued down her hand and the feather, the quill that she's got, and used a paper doily behind it to make a little tuck spot. And I really like how that came out. And the paper behind it is one of the vintage Paperie papers. So here we are, the center with my little butterfly. My 4th large tag. Little pocket made out of an ephemera piece. How beautiful a day can be when kindness touches it. And just 2 little ephemera pieces in there. And here I had a go at making a shaker feature, and use some little blue sequins in there. There's a blue butterfly up there to tie it all in. It turned out okay. It looks pretty cool, I think. Up here's a little pocket, a little tag. So this is a really cute little card that goes with the envelopes from the Romantica Arts. And behind that I've put a paper doily, and the paper is one of the vintage Paperie ones. So a little tuck spot, little envelope there with a piece in it, and 2 little ephemera pieces. And this is my last page. And there's another fairy quote down there from a poem, Calico Collage offcut, and I've made a little tag out of that. This one's one that's provided in Norella's kit, and this is one that I've made, just collaged some little pieces together onto the manila cardboard and used some seam binding. Alright, so that is my swap journal, my fairy swap journal. I hope you've enjoyed watching the flip through, and yeah, hope to see you again. Feel free to leave me a comment. I love talking to people on YouTube and sharing tips and things. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.